Rican.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about redefining success, or redefining priorities and success according to God. So let me get right into it. Today my devotional was about Solomon and how in his time everyone probably would have described him as extremely successful because he had all these riches and wealth and intelligence, wisdom, fame. He had it all, and yet Solomon would say that it was all vain and meaningless. So he reminds us that only God can bring true fulfillment. So even if we achieve everything we desire, we will never have fulfillment without God. Our joy must come from the Lord. So I just want to read Ecclesiastes 2:25, which says, "For apart from him, who can eat or who can have enjoyment?" So one of the principles that really stood out to me was proper priorities, meaning in whatever roles that we serve and whatever that we do, the Lord calls us to work wholeheartedly, but he also calls us to obedience. So obedience to God should always be our number one priority. So although Solomon was led astray in his old age, he didn't accommodate the pagan beliefs of his wife or try to match the customs of the surrounding nations. So when he married his pagan wife, he made sure to build her a separate home in order to not defile David's palace, which was considered sacred because it was housing the Ark of the Covenant at that time. So another big takeaway for me was that from God's perspective, our personal success may look, and most likely will look, completely different than what we envision for ourselves. Success to him may be a lesson that we learned or a character trait that we developed rather than just an achievement that we might have attained. So, us getting a promotion at work or something is what we might consider success, where for him it's like last week you were finally able to forgive someone that you were holding resentment for the last 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So I just believe our greatest accomplishment will be standing firm in our faith and our commitment to the Lord in the face of worldly temptations or pleasures. In my devotional, it also includes a little short prayer at the end that I want to share with you guys, and it says, "Lord, I confess that I sometimes let the world's measure of success influence my thoughts and actions. Lead me so that the motivations of my heart are formed and shaped by you and you alone, not by the world. I pray that you would show me how to delight in my work, lead well in my circles of influence, and honor you in all that I do. In Jesus' name, amen." So I just want to know, in your own experiences, what has God taught you about success? Comment down below. I am very curious to know. I know for me, what I thought about after reading this devotional was how I've allowed my priorities to kind of get out of whack personally. I was really convicted after reading this devotional because I just really feel like I am failing him every day. Like, I know a lot of people are saying in this time how they're taking it to get closer to God, and they're so much deeper in their prayer and their word and doing this and doing that. And for me, it's been the opposite. Like, before the quarantine, I was like I was very disciplined. I had a schedule, I had a routine. Every day I'm like getting in my word, making sure I'm feeding myself spiritually. And then quarantine happened, and now it's just like my schedule is totally thrown off. I've been having a hard time not finding the time, but I don't know, it's really hard to explain. But yeah, it just knocked off my whole schedule, and I don't have a lot of alone time that I normally would have. So I'm like never home alone. When I have that time with God, I'm used to having that time alone in order to do that, whether it was in my commute to and from work, whether it was on my lunch break. And now it's like you have to create those times for yourself, and it's very hard to do. You're trying to coordinate that with the other person or persons that you're living with. So that just gave me a little bit of conviction. I'm like, okay, this is something I definitely have to work on and fix. And I keep making plans and then just forgetting, because I've been living on such a day by day, go with the flow type schedule, and yeah, it's just driving me crazy. Just wanted to be very transparent about that. It hasn't been that experience for me, as I've heard it has been for other people that they're getting in deeper and all that good stuff. For me, it works better the other way around, where it's almost like any free time I get, that's when I'm gonna slide it in. But now I have like too much free time, but it's not alone free time, if that makes sense. So I just really need to focus on seeking him first, just making him my priority again, figuring out what that looks like, making a new normal for myself. You know, I'm a flawed person, but I am still very determined. So I keep making these different plans and trying to figure out which one is going to work best for me. But you know what? Every day I'm still trying. I'm still working towards this new normal, and hopefully this will all be done soon. But until then, I just encourage you, if you've been going through the same, having a hard time getting that devotional time in, even though you apparently have a lot more free time now, keep pushing, keep trying. Like, we're all flawed. None of us are perfect, but don't give up. And I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but I am going to make changes and work towards being better every single day. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I encourage you to do the same. If you haven't already been, if you have been, kudos to you. I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, let's keep pushing and praying. Bye.